In this part of the demo, we're going to take a look at search to insight and also the smart capability of the insight in the charts. So to start, I'm going to open my previously built story. So here I open my QS demo story where I've built my visualizations and stuff before. So we're going to continue building on this. So I'm going to go to edit, and now I'm going to add a new page. So let's add a responsive page. And next, I want to utilize the data model that I have previously built in the previous demonstration. So click on Demo, and I'm going to add my new data. And this time I'm going to do from an existing data set or model. So here I click on my data model, select Other Model, and I navigate to where I have saved it previously. In this case, my public stories. And under my personal folder, I can see sales order items with data, book data. So I'm going to click on this one, and now I can see I have both my data sets here, and I can only use the smart capabilities with imported data. So now I have my imported data here, and let's go back to our story. And simply clicking on the search to insight icon, I am now able to view the data here. So you can see here I can click on which data set model I want to use. In this case, I want to use a sale order data set. I want to view the net amount. So I can view net amount by publisher. And simply by typing, I can see here as auto suggest, and I can just click and fill out. And boom, here it brings up the table for show net amount by publisher. I want to set it up to net. I want to see the top 10 net amount by publisher. And simply clicking and saying search. Now I have it's creating a new report. And here is my top 10 publishers by net amount. And I can further do this and say restrictive and say by current year. And see, the current here is not a variable in my case, but what it does do, it is auto suggesting all the data that I have available. So I have top 10 net amount, and that's my first sale to my latest sale. So I am going to select this one and say OK. And there we go. I've added the parameter here. So I can obviously click and say, OK, copy this to my page 1. And let's take a look at another dimension that we've created before. Let's look at the top 10 authors by name, which is my author name, and let's say search. And simply with doing that, I can see here is my top 10 author by cluster ID, which is not correct. I want it by net amount. So now I connect the net amount and click search, and boom, here is my top 10 authors by net amount. And again, I can just say copy to my page 1. So with that, I have asked a question, I have used the search, I select my data model, and just by typing the question, it automatically populates and suggests reports for me. And with that, I can now go back and say exit search to insight and see my charts and tables I have copied here. And with that, that was the search to insight. But I want to see, okay, what is driving this data? I want to see a bit more information on this. So I am going to click on the more option, and I say add smart insights. By clicking Smart Insights, it automatically derives and adds some dimensions. So the average line is loading here, and so Boyne has the highest net amount. So I can see what is driving this data, what is my outliers. And by clicking View More, it opens the chart table here, the Smart Insight tables, and I'm able to see and drive into my Smart Insights of the data, which suggests what is the values or what's going on behind the amount. So I want to see it by here. So here I can see some information. Okay, 2019, 2020, 2021. So I can see I'm further down. And of course, if I want to add this, I want this to my chart as well, I can simply click on it and boom, it adds this additional structure that's insightful to me here. So I can see here I'm down, I'm up, and I'm down again. So this gives me some additional capabilities, and it says this order is the top order. This is the top book contributor, so I can see which book this is. So the net amount for this book, here I go by book ID. Book ID is Boyne Addon, Egmont, the Enchanted Wood. So here I can even see the hierarchy and drawing capabilities. So it gives me real insight into what's happening with this data. So as we can see here, just using simple search insight and using the add smart insight functionality. For example, just by clicking this again, I can just add some additional smart insight using the smart functionality insight. And I can add it to any of my reports for my acquired data, and I can continuously build, and it will give me some descriptions, and I can even add the additional reports from this smart insight to expand and build my story even further. So with that, we are able to take a look into our Smart Insight functionality, and we will continue next with our presentation.